Tēnā koutou katoa, and welcome to this edition of St. Peter's News. Sorry, forgot to hand sanitize. In tonight's edition, we look at some more home learning and some interesting things happening around the place. First of all, let's go and look at the remote learning that's been happening. Great to see all those things happening at home, fantastic learning, and we look forward to seeing you back on Monday. Next up, we're going to look at some Anzac Day commemorations. Thank you for those Anzac pieces. It was great to see our students commemorating that day. We will always remember those soldiers that gave up so much for us, lest we forget. Next up, we're going to go to our resident scientist, Matthew Somerville, for another experiment.
You don't get those food coloring.
It's going, I can see it.
What color do you want turquoise?
It's going.
Is it?
Yeah, it's going. It's going. Please don't pop. Please don't pop. Please don't pop.
No! Oh my gosh!
That gave me a fright. Aw.
Another great experiment happening in the Somerville household. Next up, we're going to go to our roaming reporter, Mrs. Williams, to see what classroom life will be like when you all come back on Monday. Mrs. Williams.
Good afternoon and God bless you. Monica Williams reporting in room 5. As you can see, the children are distancing beautifully at their desks, as they will happily do. Should I need to go and see a lovely teacher, I will get up with my book, head down so that we are not interrupting anyone else's personal space, and come up and show Mrs. Hounsell that I have finished my writing. I've finished, Mrs. Hounsell.
Well done. I'd like you just to go back and check the punctuation now. Thank you, dear.
And here we are, appreciating our personal space. Everybody has room to move. No one's in, everyone's a metre apart. And that's how it works in room 5 and pretty much the rest of the school.
Thank you for showing us around the classrooms, Mrs. Williams. It's great to have that insight. Now, we go to another reporter who is going to explain to us the office procedure. Oh, it's Mrs. Williams again.
Here we are at the front entrance. Welcome to St. Peter's Catholic School, parents and visitors. As I head in the door, I'm going to make sure that I sanitise and I sign in. There's one of me. I'm allowed one other friend in here to go and stand in my spot. Sanitise. And sign in. Then I'll step over to there. So the next person can sign in and sanitise. Good morning, Mrs. Warwick.
Thank you, Mrs. Williams, for that report. We're now going to cross to Mrs. Williams again, but this time in the Junior Hub, introducing those teachers for those new students showing up on Monday that have never met their teachers.
Good afternoon and God bless. Here we are in the Junior Hub.
Kia ora. Hi everyone. Hi, looking forward to seeing you on Monday.
Great to see some smiling faces back in the Junior Hub. I know there'll be a lot more on Monday. Next up, we're going to look at the procedures for arriving at school and going home again.
Here I am again. I arrived at school this morning. I got out of the car, kissed Mum goodbye because she stayed there, or Dad, came past Mr. Stewart, said good morning and God bless you, and came straight to my classroom, room 3. I hung up my bag, taken my lunchbox out, and here I am heading in to find my very special name on my very special desk. Here I am. I'm Mona Vale. I'm going to put my lunchbox on my desk and I'm going to sit down and wait for a famous, awesome day of teaching.
Good morning, Monavale.
Morning, Mrs. Ban.
Did you see what I forgot, everybody? The most important thing ever. Here I go back. I'm stepping into my classroom, but first, I sanitise. Now I can go into Mrs. Bam's classroom and be Monavale at my desk. Good morning, Mrs. Bam. Good morning, Monavale.
At pick-up time, the students will be outside the school gate with staff members. As they see you pull up, they will move towards the vehicle and get in. Once they are in, the vehicles will drive off safely. If your child is not there, then you will have to drive around the block again. Children with surnames from A to K will be first between 2:45 and 3, and students with surnames with L through to Z, 3 to 3:15. Great to see how we get to school and how we go home at the end of the day safely, so we maintain social distancing. Coming up next is the sports news with Mrs. McCreary.
Good afternoon, and it is Level 2 Sports News. We have our playground in action. So as you can see, you will be allowed on the playground next week under Level 2. Fantastic news. There you go, keep going.
I don't think I
That's
can.
okay, fall off. That's okay, that's what you do normally. Keep going. Okay, follow along, Pippa. Oh, sorry. And the other great news for Level 2 is we are allowed in the sand pit as long as you are social distancing and you have sanitised before you've left the classroom and you sanitise when you get back into the classroom.
Exciting times in the sporting world, especially with the playground open again. I'm sure lots of people on Monday will be using that. Next up, we're going to the weather with Mrs. Warwick.
Today's weather, I've got sunshine on a cloudy day, and the outlook for Monday, lots of little rays of sunshine coming back into St. Peter's Catholic School.
Thank you, Mrs. Warwick, for that weather report. It does sound promising. I'm glad we didn't burst into song with that Temptations #1 hit. That's all the time we have this week. You stay classy, St. Peter's.